ladies, and welcome to The Beauty Shaman. So it is 12 degrees here in Colorado as I film this video. It's going to be like in the negatives tonight. It is so flipping cold. So I am dreaming about spring, about flowers. I love the spring. Spring and fall are my two favorite seasons. And so one of the great looks for spring for makeup has been using the color coral. Now I adore coral. I adore corals and oranges and the whole spectrum of the color orange in flowers, in you name it. I love it so much. So to that end, we are going to copy and modify one of the great looks for spring 2021. Was really shown in the Armani fashion show in a really beautiful way. I have a picture here. So we're going to take that and we're going to make it applicable for our age range. Okay. So let me show you, what I do. So this is the picture that I want to show you. This wasn't from Armani. This is actually Dior, but I love this. Like, look how much coral they've used. And I love that we can get away with this year. This is great. So I love the very rich coral lipstick, and it's just orange all around her eye with a lot of warm brown tucked in there as well, which I love. So we are going to do a modified version of that particular look in this video, which is so exciting. I love it so much. Okay, so before we get started, what are you drinking? Get your tea, ladies. And also don't forget to visit my website at thebeautyshaman.com. Use the code SB10 for 10% off everything in my store. And also please subscribe on the lower left corner and hit the bell so that you are notified every time I upload a video and I can continue making great content for you here on YouTube. Let's get going. Okay, so let's get started. But before we get started, I have to say I had to redo that intro because I did the whole intro and I looked in the mirror and I had a big chunk of something green in my teeth. I was like, and we're redoing that intro. Okay, so to start off with, we have to have hydrated skin. Very, very important. So this is my favorite moisturizer. It's by Truth Treatments. It's called Sea Balm. I love this. I love this. You need very, very little. I'm just going to take a tiny bit. Like, you need not even the size of a dime. That's how little you need. And it really hydrates. I can use it all over my eyes. I use this every morning. So I wash my face in just cold water. I just splash a bunch of cold water on my skin. And as you can see, my forehead is really oily, so I don't really need anything there. And I put this on. That's my morning routine. Very, very, very simple. And then I put it all the way down your neck and décolleté because that'll really help with hydration so it doesn't get, crinkly how our necks get sometimes. So even though we love them still, right? Because we are full of self-love, right? We don't come from a place of hate. We come from a place of love. Okay, so that's our moisturizer. So next I always do a little bit of primer just to keep my makeup on so it lasts all day because everything sinks in on me. I can't keep makeup on my face to save me unless I use a little primer. So this is Jane Iredale Smooth Affair Primer, and I'm just going to use a really small amount. I mean, these are all really good products. So you need very little. Like, look at that. Not a lot. And then I'm just going to put that all around. Okay, next a little foundation. I'm going to grab my Face and Body by MAC. It's very mucky. I always think I'm going to clean all my makeup stuff, and I never do. I'm not a good housekeeper. I always tell men that before I date them, like, I'm a bad housekeeper, by the way. So there you go, and just a little bit of that. And I'm going to use my fingers to apply. I really love using fingers on myself. When I make up other people, I don't. But on myself, very easy. You don't really need a sponge or a brush. No matter what the so-called experts tell you, you really don't need it. This is totally fine. Okay, so that's really simple, looks good. My skin's all excited and happy and glowy. I'm gonna do a little concealer. This is Amazing Concealer. And the color here is medium golden. So I love this concealer. This is one of my favorites. Okay, I'm just gonna take a little bit and just tap it around my eye. Can hear a person walking upstairs as I do this. Just put it where you need it. I always put a little around my nose too, and just to kind of lighten this whole area. So I use it a little bit as a highlight. And if you get dark right here, I get a little dark right there. You can just tap a little tiny bit in. Not much, really go easy on your product. And you can put it over your lid too if you'd like. That works. The other thing you can do at this point is if you have age spots, which I have this one right here that I've been working on. I put a little 5% retinol on it every day, and I do peels. So it's just kind of slowly but surely diminished it. And just tap a little bit of concealer, you know, see how lightly I do that. You know, for those of you who are really heavy-handed, it's good practice on being a little lighter with your hand. But look how much that took that out. I might have a little one over there. I'm not worried about it, though. So yeah, that looks good. See, my skin's all nicely kind of evened out. Next, I'm going to actually powder after because some of the products I'm going to use are creams, and it's better to use creams before you powder. So I'm not going to fill in my brows because this is a very summery, light look, and I want my brows to stay really light. I do darken the outer edges just a little bit if you watch my videos. For you, I would say do what works best for you. If you always fill in your brows, I would say go for it. I would just go for a lighter application because when you do these really light, soft looks, you want everything to be lighter. You can't do like a really heavy brow and then a really light makeup. It just doesn't really work, right? Unless that's a specific look that you're going for. So I would say really stay soft-handed when we're doing these kind of sheer looks. I'm going to do a little bit of contour. On me, I need a bit of contour. I think for some of you, you don't need contour at all. And I just did a video, I'll put it up here in the corner, where I did the makeup for Iris Apfel, a demo on myself. And she's 97. So I really addressed more like women in their kind of 70s, 80s, 90s. You don't really need a lot of contour because your faces are already thin. And sometimes it can add a little bit of shape, sometimes not. It just kind of depends on how you use it. So sometimes it's better not to use any at all. So you be the judge of what you're going to use here. I'm going to use this. This is RCMA, their grouping of contour and some highlight here. But I'm going to use this contour, the one right there. And I'm going to use it with my fingers. Lots of fingers going on today. And I'm just going to go underneath my cheekbone and just kind of lightly brush it up. Very soft. You know, as we get older, it's all about everything's diffused, okay? Unless you really want like a heavier liner look, which is, you know, I've definitely addressed that in some videos. Like especially the new kind of very smoky, heavy liner look. I'll put that in the video in the corner here. I can't remember the title of that video, but I did address it. So there we go. And if your forehead shows, you know, you can go ahead and put a little bit on your forehead in whatever place you need it. I have a high forehead, so I'm just going to put a little bit right there. There we go. If you tend to have a lower forehead, but like more going on this side, then you would put the contour over here. I think I'm going to use this highlight too, put a little highlight on my brows just because I think I'll use that one. Just why not? Because it's this lovely springtime kind of sheer, beautiful look. And nothing wrong with a little bit of that, right? Cool. Okay, I'm going to do a little blush. Now I know this is a bit like, wait a minute, you're going straight to blush. I kind of go with how I feel. I hope you're like that too. I'm never really like a slave to a certain order. So I hope that doesn't throw you, but I need a sip of tea. All right, so I'm going to use, I just recently bought this. It's called Cheer Up by MAC. So it's a lovely coral. Look at that. It's really beautiful. And I'm going to use a lipstick in conjunction with that. And I can't see the name of this without my glasses. So I'll have to put it down below. But it is a lovely coral. Look at that. It's just a beautiful light coral. So we're going to be using both of these corals and a coral eyeshadow. But I'm going to start with these because I think they're really beautiful and soft. And I'm going to use, again, fingers. Okay, it's all about fingers. Isn't that pretty? And I'm going to pull it up just a bit. So I kind of go on the cheekbone for blush and I pull it back just a bit. I don't, you know, again, we're not doing the 80s, you know, where you were like going like that, doing these really heavy kind of Princess Leia blush, right? Okay, I'm going to switch to eyes. I'm going to do lips last because I'm not sure if this lipstick is too light. So I just want to kind of play with this a little bit and see how I feel. So I'm going to do a lovely coral on my lid, but I'm going to use some iridescent, and this is called Solar Flare. This is a Jane Iredale palette that I carry on my website. I think this is a beautiful palette. I mean, look at that. Now it's all iridescent. So if you like iridescent colors, this is definitely the palette for you. Plus there's a lot of orange and peach in here, which I love. And also a slate, which I think is beautiful in conjunction with the the oranges, but we're not going to touch that today. So I'm going to put this on my lid, and I think I'm going to put a little bit of this underneath. Like, ooh, that looks so pretty, huh? So I'm going to take my finger, dip it in there, because we're all about our fingers today. And I'm just going to kind of tap it in. Pretty, right? Now, depending on how big your lids are is how crazy you can go with this. I don't have the biggest lids in the world. So I'm kind of just keeping it to the middle, a little bit on the inner edge, excuse me. Just tap that in. But look how beautiful that is. I mean, that with that blush, it's so gorgeous, right? Okay, so now I'm going to grab this color. This is a new MAC eyeshadow in their new collection called My Tweety. Yep, I've been using it a lot on people, on myself. I just think it's a really nice, rich kind of corally color. And for my skin tone, I think this will really work. But I'm going to use a crease brush, and I'm going to tip it in this, and I'm just going to kind of lightly, how many times have I said that in this video? I'm just going to lightly, you know, because when you're going for these light looks, that's what you're doing. So I'm going to do this in the crease just to add a little bit more dimension to it. Otherwise, your face can look a little flat, right? So I'm just adding that in. And if you can pull it a little bit into here, that'll lift your eye up a little bit. Pretty, right? Really pretty. So really beautiful. Okay, so now I'm gonna see if I can use this copper, because I love this. I'm afraid it might be a little bit too coppery on me, but we're gonna give it a go. Try that underneath. Oh yeah, look at that. Really pretty. The darker your skin, the more you can pull this off. Now my skin is not very dark because it's 12 degrees outside. And I get outside every day for a walk just because I can't stand to be inside all day long. I don't care how cold it is, I go out. I think that looks incredible. That's so pretty, right? So I might just take a little bit of that and put it on the upper as well. What do you guys think of iridescent shadows like this? So I know some of you are like really scared of them. Others of you miss them and feel like maybe you can't use them anymore because, you know, you're older. So I'm just curious how you look at those. So that's beautiful. I just think that copper is just so wearable and so nice. So I'm going to use some eyeliner now. I'm going to use the Dark Topaz by Jane Iredale. It comes like this. These are all clean beauty. Comes with a brush. And then you take this off and that's your gel liner. Now, I'm going to use my own brush because I'm me and I like to use a longer brush. I find it a little easier for me to work with. So I'm going to use this with the slanted edge to it. And I'm going to just run this right next to my lashes. And I'm going to blend it out a bit. You can see how I do it. You just kind of touch it. And notice I come from underneath. If you haven't seen my video on how to put eyeliner on, I'm going to put it in the upper corner here so that you have some frame of reference. But you kind of come from underneath and just tap it and work it across. It doesn't have to be perfect because you can always blend it afterwards. But see how I do that? And if you want it to be a little thicker on the outer edge, in that picture, she definitely had a lot more on the outer edge. So let's work this up a little bit. If you want to do a little wing, you can. Totally your call. I'm not going to. I'm going to kind of stick with this real blended look. I think that's nice. Now I'm going to take a pencil brush right here, and I'm just going to run it over the top to blend it, but I want more of a smoky look. I don't want a super liney look, except maybe down in here, right? Because I think that's a nice look to have a sharper line there. We're gonna just blend that in. Okay, so that eye's done. I think that looks really pretty. And I'm gonna take this same liner and go underneath. So I'm just kind of going over the top of the other color. You know, you can just do that. You can just layer away, right? Depending on how far you want to go with it. You know, but this is a softer look. So because of all those lovely peaches and stuff. So we're layering, but we're layering in a, you know, it's not like this dense, thick look to it. So pretty. Okay, so both eyes are done now, and I really like this. I think this looks really pretty. I can't talk. Can you tell? I'm like, duh, 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 duh. All right, so let's do some mascara. Where did I put it? Here it is. All right, so we've got Maybelline Great Lash mascara, and I'm just going to do a coating of mascara. I think I'm going to do top and bottom because this is all about, you know, the eyes, right? So much is about the eyes these days because of masks, which we all have to wear. Okay, lots of lashes, lots going on around my eye area, which I think is really flattering and great for what we're experiencing now, right? All right, so I'm gonna actually powder around my eyes. So this is one of the, just taking like a regular brush, oops, wrong one. So let's take a regular brush, and I'm gonna just powder around my eye area. You don't actually need to powder your entire face. I do that sometimes in my videos because my skin tends to be really dewy. But with, you know, if you have a drier skin, I think this is a really good thing to do, is just to touch it, just to touch the places where you need powder and not do it all over, right? So see how that just totally woke up my entire eye area. Looks so much better, right? Just with that powder, but the powder doesn't sit in fine lines. This is a sheer powder. This is by Ben Nye. So I love this powder, very inexpensive, and it works amazing. So, all right, we're going to go on to lips. So I'm not sure about this lipstick, so I'm going to try it. And if I don't like it, I'm going to change it. So it's a nice coral, kind of matches my shirt. Let's see if I like it. Okay, I'm going to use a little lip liner. This is Nutmeg by MAC, and I'm just going to take and warm this up. Okay, so this is really pretty. I actually thought that the MAC lipstick was a little bit too light, so I darkened it slightly with this color here, which is more of kind of a little bit warmer of a, or darker of a coral than what I'm wearing, which I like to go under what I'm wearing. I don't like to match it totally. You can, but I like to go a little under. And I'm going to add some lip gloss with it because we have to, right? It's spring, so I'm going to put a little bit of see-through lip gloss on it. This is just kind of a nice neutral peachy color. Isn't that pretty? Oh my. Oh, I'm so pretty. Okay, so this is my spring 2021 coral makeup look. So it's, you know, I just think these looks are so much fun because you can really work on your eyes and really bring out your eyes. Have the lips a tiny bit more subdued, or you can go the other direction and really do a lot of lip like they did in that picture, which would work as well. With a lovely coral cheek and wavy hair. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited for spring. I want it to hurry up. Anyway, let me know what you think about this. I always love to hear from all of you ladies, so please write down below. I always respond. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and let's just dream of sunshine if you're not in a sunny place. Have a good day.